Good afternoon, guys. This is Spirit Journey, and today is July 9th, 2017, and it's about 4:30 p.m. I'm at the park right now, and I'd like to do a recording of something in response to a video that I saw. I saw a video of a young black man, and he was discussing his anger about black people, and especially black people who are dressed in very Afrocentric with dreadlocks and the like, but they're with a white partner. And many times they may be at what they call a black event, and they have this white partner. And he felt that they shouldn't do that, the blacks, and that they should go to a white event. He felt that they were denying their heritage by going out with a white person, and because of that, they should just go to the white world to live and to socialize. So I started asking myself some questions, and some of the questions were, what if you have to move, let's say for economic reasons, and you're forced to go to a place you've never been to? The people may not be of your so-called race or religion. They may even speak a different language. But either way, you're at this region, and you're starting a new life also. Let's say where you live, maybe it was like a Katrina, and you're forced to move and just start a life somewhere else. And in that move, you're at a vulnerability. And let's say everyone else is in the same predicament as you, and they move to the same place. Let's say it's multi-ethnic move to this neutral zone. Well, for one thing, you have to survive. You have to learn how to interact with people who are different than you. There's a point where you have to be flexible and, put yourself out there at times, but also, with wisdom. And let's say, you're alone. You don't have like family with you, and you have people of the opposite sex that are available. So what do you do? Do you just say, well, I only go out with my own kind? Or do you say, I'm starting my life over. I don't know anyone here. They don't know me. And I have to survive. And I want to meet people. So, what do you do? It reminds me of a situation with myself when I used to work for a resort. And there were people from all over the globe that worked there, mostly white people. They were from Europe, Canada, and America. There were some American blacks there, but not as many as whites. And you're meeting people. You work, and then after work you want to socialize. What do you do? So only you could answer that question. Only that person who's in that environment. And I think this is what life is all about, that it presents itself, that the world is really a small place when you think about it. And people are lonely. People could be lonely and need to reach out to others. Even people that maybe historically they don't get along. I've also had an opportunity to move to Hawaii, and you had people, or even the West Indies. And I met people that probably in their own location in the U.S. mainland, they wouldn't associate with people like myself. But because of the circumstances, you're forced to socialize and swallow your pride. And, a lot of people might do things because of peer pressure. And I think growing up, I was faced with with peer pressure at times as a young adult, not as a teen, but when I was an illegal adult. That's when I started to feel social pressure. The only thing I could say is, even though I understood the man who wants to protect what he feels is his culture, his people, his, everything, I understand that. I understand about respect. But there's a point where that person is a free agent. And we all like that social freedom. All of us. So that's how I answer that question. But the last note is, whatever choice that person makes in dating outside of the group and bringing someone from outside and someone who historically is against you, just be aware how you might make other people feel by bringing that other party to the event. So I would feel that it should be discussed ahead of time. That person who's coming into a foreign environment as a guest of someone, just be very tactful and enjoy yourself, but just realize how it might be perceived and to be prepared what the consequences could be. And also, just remember that the tables could turn and you have blacks who have white partners and they might go to a so-called white event. You would like people to treat you well too, or at least, not bother you. We all are accountable for our behavior. I have another thought here. At that same resort that I met a man, a black man, and after I finished this season at that resort, I had moved to Hawaii, and lo and behold, the same individual was right in front of me, in the middle of the street, calling my name. See, the world is really a small place. We were over, I think, 6,000 miles, away. But our lives collided again in this small island. And this individual had a girlfriend. Now, the guy originally is from Tortola. And people in Tortola are an extremely dark-skinned group of people. And he had a white girlfriend. And I'm thinking about that man in that other video that's saying his anger about such union. This particular guy that I met originally from Tortola, even though he had a white girlfriend, he knew who he was. He was comfortable in himself. And again, he's not coming from the U.S., but in the West Indies. And we would talk. And it was very, very reminiscent about being in Africa. He had purchased land in Ghana. And that he had somebody watching over the farm. So why bring him up? Like, just because somebody is in a relationship with somebody else, you're not necessarily giving up your race or your identity. It could at times enhance your self-identity. Let me explain. Get a piece of art. In order to bring out the qualities of a piece of art is to pair it with something that's contrary, contrasting to it. And so a white person, a very Black Centric person, is going to contrast and bring out his Africanness. and vice versa. So doesn't that make sense? Now you have two people, let's say two black people wearing from the same country, you eat the same foods. It's just the same. But you get something that's so contrasting, and it's something that you can share with others. It brings out, and I think with him, it brings out his social awareness of who he is. So it's that contrast. When you're with your own, it's no contrast. You're not challenged, but you're definitely challenged when you're in a relationship with somebody of a very, visibly very different than you. So you're not giving up necessarily. You may be adding and bringing out the best in that other person, and vice versa. In conclusion, interracial dating and unions and marriages is a personal choice between the parties involved. I cannot give an answer for you. You are to make that choice for yourself. But in anything in life, what you do, understand ahead of time what you're getting yourself into, the pros and the cons, and whether you're able to take on that responsibility. And also to understand how it may look from the outside in